So let's see. Let's talk about my experiences. So I'm a general contractor. I do a commercial residential. What we do when I first started, I started on the commercial side. So we used to do. I was involved in the let's see, Sheraton and Carlsbad hotel. I did some of that. I did the Union Station in downtown LA. I did some of Cedar Sinai. And this is what I've done is all based on tile work. I'm not saying construction work or structural. No, it's all tile work. I've done Cedar Sinai. I've done also, let's see, Jamaican Bay Inn in Marina Del Rey. I've done McDonald's, and I've done Association of Realtors. I've done their building as well. I've been very fortunate, and some of these came through Bni, and very fortunate. And I've also done real estate. When I first started construction, I did residential in Pacific Palisades, Malibu, and in Beverly Hills, that area. So that's where I started. I started with a general contractor who was really anal about everything, you know. And I would be behind the scenes. I started as a laborer, actually. You know, I'll be digging trenches and started from the bottom up. That's how I started, you know. And I would see how he would deal with clients, you know, with these clients, and I'd be like, man, this guy's a jerk to clients, man. I am never gonna be like that with clients. But now that I'm in this position, now I understand why he was like that. You know, definitely knowing, you know, throughout time, you know, this business it's a minefield. It really is, you know, and I'm gonna talk more about it as we go. So I've done residential as far as multi-million-dollar houses. The last one that I ever built with this contractor was up in Tiger Hill. We're a $12 million home. It's a $12 million home, and there was a couple of A-listers, artists or actors that want to buy it. It was Morissette, Jim Carrey, and Britney Spears, I believe. So I come from a very high end. I'm very meticulous of what I do. So some people say, "Hey, you're too expensive," or "He's too expensive." Well, look, you get what you paid for. I look around this room right here, and I see so many mistakes. Probably most of you won't even see it, you know, but I do see it. But hey, that's what it is, and I'll be talking more about that. So I'm just going to talk about some brain tactics that clients use on contractors. And it's very notorious that we get like these tactics and these witty remarks where, you know, hey, can you do it for a lesser price? And you know, and it's like we're a magnet for, you know, the community of I want a discount and I want it free. You know, definitely I don't go to my lawyer, I don't go to my real estate agent, I don't go to my insurance guy. You know, as a matter of fact, I went to Starbucks this morning and I got that cup I got that cup. And I just did a test, you know, just to see. I go in there and I go, hey, you know, I'm gonna get this, and he goes, okay, look, can I get a discount? And she just looked at me like, what are you talking about? You know? I'm like, you know what, thank you, you answered my question. You know? So I believe everybody who has a profession, who is a business owner, you know, when somebody comes and approaches you that way, sometimes I think you might absorb it a little bit like defensive, because it's your craftsmanship. You know, that's your trade. You know, you don't want to lower your level or your craftsmanship to their pricing. And if it doesn't work that way, then, you know, it's a free market. You can go somewhere else. But this is, I'm just going to say a couple of things that clients say to contractors no, the second part. So I'm going to go a little bit more. So, you know, when builders and contractors, you know, we go out there and me personally, when I first started, clients, and I'm talking about clients who are more experienced than I am, who are older than I am, who have more experience in life, when they see a greenhorn, when I see a greenhorn, that's somebody who's green behind the ears, who is fairly new in the business. The clients that I've encountered are more like hawks, like, you know, they just want to go and they see me as prey, you know, and they just, you know, they already know. They already know, and this is my experience. Doesn't mean every contractor goes through it, but this is my experience. So they see an opportunity to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna get this guy, and you know, hopefully I can lower a price and see what I can squeeze out of this guy. So I've encountered this problem, and this is what adjustments that I've made. And I've made these adjustments based on some. I don't know if you guys remember, Karen had a little card, and it had all these words on it.
Yep,
you remember?
I do.
I have that.
I have
it, and I use that very, very much in my everyday business. Because if I'm not confident in what I do, you know, then how can I value my work? You know. So, you know, in my business, there's an estimate, there's a quote, a bid proposal, and a bid. So you have to know the difference, what that is. An estimate, and this is what I learned now. This is what I'm applying in 2020 and now. So, you know, before back then, I'll have a client say, hey, can you come down and give me an estimate? And there I go, yeah, sure, of course. I'll drive 50, 30 miles, 2, 3, 4 times to that place. At the end of the day, I don't get squat. You know, but what happens at the end of that day? They use my numbers and they give it to somebody else. You know, and then I get screwed. I get screwed for my time and my gas. You know, so they use my numbers to get a lower price. And then at the end of the day, I ended up to find out there's an unlicensed guy. So how can you compare me to somebody who's unlicensed, who doesn't have insurance, doesn't have an overhead, you know, who's not going to respond to if anything goes wrong? You know, that I don't think that's fair. So the adjustments that I make nowadays is this. If you want an estimate, yeah, I'll give you an estimate. It's called, in my book, it's called a guesstimate. Because I'm gonna go there and I'm just gonna look around and I'm gonna say, you know what, it's gonna be 30,000, 50,000, 60,000, whatever it is. If I break out this baby right here, if I just open it up, I'm gonna charge you. If I walk and start doing measurements, I'm gonna start charging you. So my charging for my estimates is $150 just to go do an estimate. If you don't like it, sorry, you know, that's just the way it is. My gas and my time. Your gas, your time. Everybody has their time, and you have, you know, a dollar amount for your time, and this is what I've learned. And I've learned this from all of you. You know, so thank you on that. So, and this is what I learned. So every time I do a guesstimate, no charge whatsoever. But if you're gonna tell me, you know what, can you do a breakdown? Can you give me, you know, how much in detail? Yes, I can, but I give them a head notice. It's gonna charge you, it's gonna cost you $150, maybe $250, depending on how detailed you want it. Do you want consultation? You know, when I first started this, I was so naive. And I still am, don't get me wrong, I'm still learning this whole business. I'm still learning. I got 4 years, going on 5 years learning this business, and I'm learning as I go. So when I first started, I had numerous people, hey, come down here, give me an estimate, and at the end of the day, I'll be like, man, you know what, this sucks, man, I didn't get nothing off of this, and the job was given to somebody else. But anyways, you know, from estimates are free, quotes, proposals and bids, you know, I'm in charge. When I do commercial projects, it's a different ballgame. It has nothing to do, it's not the same as residential. When I do commercial, it's more of a bid. You know, you're competing with all these contractors and you submit your bid, right? There's no cost to that because that's just the way it works, you know? So, but at the end of the day, they'll call you and say, you know, I'm sorry, unfortunately, you weren't awarded this project. And they say, okay, thank you. So I go back to my numbers and I say, okay, so what I tell them is, where would I go wrong? Where are my numbers at? How can I adjust these numbers? If they give me more of a detail, I adjust those numbers. So for the next project, bam, I hit them right in the gut, you know? And hopefully I hit the project, you know? So that's the way it works. You know, quotes, bid, proposals, you know, from commercial and residential, it kind of varies, but commercial proposals and bids, majority of it is just free. Because you're competing. But on the residential side, estimates are free. Everything else is going to be a cost to it. So, you know, and I think one of the reasons why a lot of tradesmen give their proposals gratis, free, if you want to call it, I just think because they don't have that much confidence in the business, or they're afraid of oh, you know what, they're not going to hire me. I mean, we're so used to our society in this with contractors, we're so used to that everything's for free, the estimates for free. I mean, you see a truck and it's plastered, bam, estimates for free. You know, I look at that and say, good luck, buddy, good luck, you know. I mean, who's gonna pay your gas and who's gonna pay your time? You know, so I think about that. But like I said, this is a learning experience for me. I'm still learning, and that's just the way it is. So also, let me see. When, another thing too, you know, when I get called to do an estimate or go see a client, you know, the things that I do is I interview the client, you know. Only because you call a contractor, I mean, I'm not going in there and I'm not trying to get the job. You know, yes, that's a part of it, but also a major part of it is I'm interviewing you just like you're interviewing me. If we don't have the same, if it's not a good fit, if I don't feel the vibes, you know, I'm sorry, I'll opt out. If it doesn't make sense to me, it's done. I'm sorry, you know, have a good day. It's a free market. You don't have to hire me. You know, there's a lot of contractors out there. Like I said earlier in my commercial, you know, trust and loyalty, it goes a long way, trust me. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen to clients who got burned big time and who lost big money because, you know, they just want to go cheaper or whatever. That's just the way the business is. And unfortunately, some of the contractors out there, there's some good contractors out there. There's good handyman, there's good tradesmen. Sometimes those good people get the short end of the stick, you know. So what I would do is, I'm gonna let you know what's a couple of things that tradesmen or contractors, they don't want to hear, you know. And then another thing within this time of 4.5 year span that I've been with BNI, like I said, it's been a learning experience. And all these experience dealing with clients who are trying to be witty. I mean, because look, we all want to save a buck. Hey, it's natural. But you're not going to go to your freaking heart surgeon and say, hey, Mr. Doctor, can you give me he comes to you and goes, hey, you know what, I need $100,000, to be $100,000 for your surgery. And you're like, okay, can you make it for 50? And if I was a doctor, I'd say, yeah, for sure, I'll do it for 50. Yeah, why not? Originally you're going to get a 20-year-old heart, but you want a discount. Well, guess what, buddy? You're going to get that 80-year-old heart now if you want that discount. It's the same concept, I think, in construction. That's the way I look at it. And I don't like to cut corners. I take really pride in what I do. Like I said, I look at this room and I see multiple mistakes. None of you will see it. Pretty much a few, maybe Karen, because she's a designer. She probably catch a few of them. But I catch them. And I say, man, that was lame. That's a lame cut. Or you could do better than that. But you know what? You look at this and you're like, oh, this is beautiful. This is that. But the clientele that I provide, you know what? I provide like an A-list quality tradesman work, and that's what you pay for. So if I'm too expensive, sorry, free market. So this is what I'm gonna say a couple of things that contractors, tradesmen, professionals don't want to use in my profession. And one of them is gonna be, give us your best price. This is the first thing that comes out of really your mouth. So I got 2 minutes, so I gotta really speed this up. So I think that once it's a threat, but you know what? I consume it. You know what? I'll submit my estimate, my guesstimate, whatever. That's that. I'm not gonna worry about giving all my full attention to that client. Second, why are you so much more than this guy? I already talked about this. Does the other guy have license? Are we comparing apples to apples? There's only one person in this room who has given me their estimate of another contractor, and I've seen it. And I say, okay, apples to apples. Okay, you know what? You're right. You know what? Boom, I'll do it. Easy as that, man. Easy as that. But we want to squeeze and squirm as much as we can that GC. I don't think it's fair. So, and then also you don't know what the value of his time is. You don't know what his overhead or what his manpower is. Like I said, unlicensed and all that. So that's one of the factors. Third, can I do some of your work? Oh, I get this all the time. And I'm going through one project right now in Santa Clarita. Hey, can I do some of the work? Sure, buddy, go ahead. But I'm going to charge you if I have to come back and do any kind of repairs. And yeah, sure enough, that's what it is. He took all the outlets, all the switches out, and tried to put new. Hey, man, this thing is not working. That's the reason why. You know what? That circuit connects all the circuits and blah, 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 and there it is. You know what? Now you have another addition costly, an add-on, a change order. And we don't want change orders. It's another one. It's called, what if I buy the materials? Don't. I don't do that. So, and the reason why is because your materials are so different from what I use. And if I mess up on that job because something goes wrong, you're gonna come back at me and say, hey, look, it wasn't a good job. So that's one of the things. Don't tell me, what if I buy my materials? So look, this is not to be cheap again when we come to contractors or tradesmen or whoever it is. It's a free market. You don't have to hire me, you can hire somebody else. So, I appreciate your time. My name is Isaac Magana with Unique Constructive Design. I hope this education moment helped you guys. So when you hire, not me, but somebody else to do your own repairs. Thank you.